Hello everyone, let me hope everything is going on well. I welcome all students of PHC at the third lecture. And without wasting much time, I remember in lecture 2, we had stopped on the individual and collective responsibility for health. Now, under that, let's look at the first aspect. The first aspect is a political issue. And here, a political issue you're talking about decentralization of decision making. Now, for instance, here, the example that I can give, we have Generous Acheng leading the Ministry of Health as the minister. So now, under Generous Acheng, we have different people that do operate, that do work with her, meaning that here, some other decisions are descended by Generous Acheng to the lower levels. For instance, from the national level to regional level, from regional level to district level. That's why we have a public health officer at the district level, at the sub-county level. After making, talking about, maybe discussing about a certain hospital that is supposed to be constructed in a certain sub-county, he gives the power to the what? To the public health officer of that particular sub-county. Aspect number 2 here is all about realization, where we talk about the personal responsibility for their own and their families. Now here, we are saying health begins with you. You begin with yourself before you think of the community. You cannot talk about something that you do not really reflect, something that do not really, which is not even familiar with you. You first act. You set a precedent. Then the rest of the members, they really see what you're talking about. If you're talking about cleaning around the community, you must make sure that your home is first cleaned, so that it acts as an example, so that you act as a role model. Okay? The NB here, it is important to have informed and motivated public on the practice at both aspects. And that is self-explanatory. I've already talked about it. Now here, let's go to, we talk about intersectorial action for health. The practical action for this is attention of overall economic development. More consciously and directed towards the maximization of health and sharing awareness at the community level, health centers. Here now, we integrate the services at different levels, at the community level. If there is an activity within a particular school that is taking place, we must notify everyone of that particular health service which is being implemented. We can let the community be aware, the health centers to be aware, and at the same time, we do collaborate or network with them, the health centers, schools, agriculture, education, to mention just very few. As one of the countries who signed the 1978 Alma Ata Charter, Uganda has also adopted the Declaration of Health for All using the strategy. The activities include education on the prevailing health problems and methods of preventing, controlling them. Am I repeating? Okay, even if I repeat, no problem. Still, it's for the good of us all. Locally, endemic diseases, prevention and control, extended program on immunization, maternal and child health, including family planning, essential drugs provision, nutrition promotion and food supply, treatment of common diseases and injuries, sanitation and safe water supply. So here we talked about the bullet number 1, where we talked about education on the prevailing health problems. Here, first of all, we need to mobilize to educate the community members to be aware of the health problems that are prevailing, that are existing in a particular community. If Marburg has come, we should make the entire community to be aware, and we teach them how to prevent it. Now that, for example, we are having the threats of Marburg in East Africa, that is in Tanzania, we will let the community members, our people at Mutukula in Uganda, to be aware that is the other side of Tanzania, we have Marburg. So they should take note of that. Locally endemic diseases prevention. Yes, dynamic diseases has come. There is an outbreak of cholera. How can we prevent that? We teach the community how to prevent and control the outbreak of cholera. We tell the people, you always take the rubbish in the pit and keep your homes, always your compounds, slashed, swept, and cleaned to control, to prevent the spread of cholera. Do not just pour rubbish anyhow. Extended program on immunization. At times, we should urge hospitals and health centers to extend immunization services to households. The nurses should go by house, immunizing, thus promoting health services to community members and households. Maternal and child health, including family planning. we should take concern the mom, the child, after mom be giving birth. We should teach mom, the mother, to eat on a balanced diet so that the baby feeds on a balanced diet. We told the mom to eat on a balanced diet to make sure that the health of the baby is guaranteed. Essential drugs. We should supply drugs that are really needed. We are having an outbreak of cholera, or we are having an outbreak of diarrhea. We should supply drugs that are relevant to the prevailing problems, to the prevailing conditions in the community that do meet the demands of the problems within the community. Nutrition promotion and food supply. The food that is supplied to our communities should be rich, should contain all classes of food in order to promote a balanced diet in our communities. People should eat food which has got all the classes of food for good health. Nutrition promotion, that one I've talked about it. Treatment of common diseases. The malaria, we should treat them. The ones that are common and minor, we treat and we mobilize the community members to access health centers. At times, we bring the services to households and we treat malaria. And we encourage them even to sleep under mosquito net. By so doing, we are treating the so common diseases. Sanitation and safe water supply. We should make sure that all the communities have piped water. Everyone can access safe, clean drinking water, and that's by extending boreholes to community members, to different communities. Type water, treating the water before home consumption. Let's now go to the review. What the review showed. The review showed expansion of health services to the broad masses, especially by establishing new health station and health posts. Yes, you should not only embark on Mulago. We should have so many branches that are at the level of Mulago. As in Kawempe, you have that National Referral Hospital, which is part of Mulago. So we should have such services spread, scattered all over different parts of the country. And the health centers, 3, 4, they should be in place in most of the communities to make sure that we avail services, health services, to our community members. Modest achievements in the control of diarrhea, diseases, and iodine deficiency disorders, and training on provision of essential drugs. Let's look at the challenges the implementers, the health workers face in implementing PHC here in Uganda. Bullet number 1, absence of infrastructures at the district level. That's very true. We are going for immunization, but even the roads are inaccessible. Like just previously, I think, we saw a certain woman, I think in Eastern region, to be in particular in the Bugisu land, trying to climb on a ladder to go and immunize people across the other side. So that one delays the implementation of the PHC activity. Something that would have taken like only 30 minutes, it can end up taking 2 days or a day. Difficult in achieving intersectorial collaboration. It's very difficult to team up with education, to team up with agriculture, to team up with the information sector, the financial sector. It's because every sector has its own goals and desires. So at times, due to individual benefits, it becomes very, very hard for these bodies to collaborate for the good of the community, because of different grievances, different ideas, and different gains. Inadequate health service coverage and inappropriate distribution of available health services. The services we have, they are very few, and in that state of being that they are few and they are limited, they are not fairly distributed to people. The experts that distribute their services, at times some of them, they practice what we call nepotism. They consider, who are you, where do you come from, in order to get a service. Inadequate resource allocations. The resources are not even enough. They are few. At times we even face challenges. The government maybe, or any other NGO comes on board to ask the community members to give in a piece of land for the construction aid of the school or the hospital, and none is willing. So that one also makes it very difficult to be implemented very well, since the resources are so limited. Absence of clear guidelines or directives on how to implement PHC. We lack the clear guidelines. There are no policies that are set in place. If they are there, but they are not into practice to make sure that PHC is implemented well. We do not have gazetted clear lines. The gazetted clear guidelines that are meant to implement the PHC. They are there, but at times they are not working at all. Presence of cultural, detected harmful traditional practices. Of unscientific beliefs and practice in Uganda. For instance, the Gishuzi in Mbale, who can share a knife, it cuts this one, it cuts the other one. The genital mutilation, that is in Kapchorwa. So that one also becomes a hindrance to the implementation of the PHC services in this country, Uganda. absence of the sound legal rules to support the environmental health activities. The lawyers are not involved. There are no clear laws that can help PHC activities be implemented in the country. Weak community involvement. The participation of the community members is so wanting. It's still very low. The number is still very low. The people that are turning up for a particular activity, the people that are turning up to boost a particular activity, they are very few in numbers. At times they do not come. The level of core. PHC, the level I come again. PHC, the level of care. The term PHC historically meant most peripheral level of organized health care. Healthcare, the point of contact between the community and health service level administrative area, health facilities and types of care levels of prevention. The level of PHC are subdivided into number 1, local, which is primary, number 2, second level, number 3, tertiary. The local, the primary, under this you have primary service, prevention, secondary and tertiary prevention plus intermediate zonal zonal hospital, Yemara.